Hello, it's Joseph Rittenhouse. I'm here in Svelingrad, Bulgaria. It's in the southeast corner of Bulgaria, 2 miles that direction. It's in the dark right now, you can't see it, but 2 miles. There's a mountain right there, and right on the top of that mountain, you cross from Bulgaria into Greece. That's pretty rad. I mean, that's it. That's Greece, the place that we learned all about in school. That in itself is cool. It's 10 o'clock at night, and at 1:30 a.m. I'm taking a train to go that way 10 miles, and I'm going to be going towards Istanbul, Turkey. So in Bulgaria, 10 miles down the track, we're going to cross over into Turkey. We'll do the passport control on the train. They stamp your passport and all that. I wanted to share two things with you. The first thing is going to be something that I should have done sooner, and that's to share with you the ideas of where I'm going with this. Why do I make these videos? What's the passion and the feeling that I have, and why I'm doing this, and why I want to continue to do it. And the second thing is going to be just a story about today. Today was one of the most difficult days. It's not even over yet, but one of the most difficult days on my travels. This trip is going to end up being about a 60-day trip from Spain to China, taking buses and trains like that. The first thing is, why do I make these videos? It's not just about financial education, but I also tell you it's about lifestyle ideas. Something does not feel right with me when I travel around the world, when I see people. Just something does not feel right, and I feel like people are only using a small portion of their ability. I feel like all of us as a human society, we're only using a small portion of our ability to have a fun, enjoyable, rewarding life. I feel like people could be sharing so much more of themselves, and I want to know, and I want people to share more of themselves with me. And I feel like that's what we're supposed to be doing. I feel like something's not working right now. For example, I come to this small town, Svelingrad, and I see a couple people, 10 people, and I think none of those people, I'm never going to really know anything about them. I'm not going to learn anything from them. I don't know what they know, where they came from, where they're going in life, and I feel like that's missing out on something. And one of the reasons why I want to make videos, I have a lot of notes, is because something inside of me wants me to suck up as much as I can, learn, and then put it out in an organized, categorized way. And I feel like that's something that we're supposed to be doing. Another example is, say for example, trains. I feel like I see many people who love trains, but they'll go their entire life without ever getting a chance to even learn about trains or touch the controls of a train. And I feel like, yes, children get to do that. Maybe they're in some sort of railroad program, some field trip, something like that. What about airplanes? Yes, there's programs where children can go sit in a cockpit and they can touch the controls and see what it's like. And how about boats, and how about military stuff? There's the Naval Sea Cadet program where young people can go on boats and submarines. They can, up until I think age 13, they can be with the military personnel and actually be on the boats and see how it works. But then when people get older, they don't get to do that anymore. And if you didn't do it when you were younger, if you didn't get to drive a bus or a train or be in some program where you could be at the controls of an airplane, you don't get to do that anymore, because now you're an adult. And they're like, no, you go do your job, you don't get to do this job. We're train people, we're airplane people, we're bus people. And I feel like we need to be doing more sharing and not blocking people off from learning. I feel like humans are really underutilizing their ability to grow as a whole group. So my passion, the reason why I make these videos, is I'm going to use as much power as I can to suck up as much information. I've learned quite a few things. I learned about scuba diving, about flying. I'm a flight instructor and commercial pilot. And I've learned foreign languages. I travel a lot. The big one is financial education. That's kind of the one that I want to build everything everything else around. But I feel like all of these areas, I want to take all the information, all the experiences that I learned in those different areas, categorize it, organize it, and then put it out. There's so many people, so many scuba divers, so many pilots. I watch these videos of people flying online, and they're only letting you know a small portion of what's possible. So many airplanes are flying today that are just empty, and I feel like airplanes should be full. Everyone should be learning about airplanes. Everyone should be learning about driving trucks and buses, and everyone should be learning about driving trains. And there's so much that people could be learning that they're not learning. So that's my passion. I know it's not organized. I know some of my videos overlap, but I have to just make the videos and put them out. If I'm not making a video, I should be writing. It's kind of hard for me to write so much information about so many different topics and keep it organized. I have to work on that to where I'm more organized. So making videos, it forces me to be brief, be dense, forces me to be organized with my material, and it keeps me excited. This is my favorite thing to do, is to make videos, because I like the stress and the pressure to speak clearly and to be organized. So sharing knowledge, living in abundance, look that topic up, abundance mentality as opposed to the scarcity mentality. I don't like living in a world where, like before when I was a bus driver, I'm a bus driver, this is my job, you don't need to know about that. I fly airplanes, you stay on the other side of the fence, you don't come anywhere near this airplane. I feel like something's wrong with that, and I feel like that's not benefiting society. I feel like we could be way further ahead of where we are now if we shared more knowledge. That's why whenever I fly, I like to keep the airplane as full as possible, because you never know, that one flight could really impact someone for the rest of their life. Sharing knowledge, abundance. I'm just getting started. I want financial freedom at my core so that I don't have to work, so I can spend all of my time collecting knowledge, organizing it, and then sharing it. So I'm just getting started. There's going to be more information about financial education. And when I say lifestyle, it's stuff like this, like traveling, but I also want to get into so many other areas. Wow, so many areas. Pretty much everything in life I want to categorize and share the knowledge. Anything I can get my hands on, I want to learn about it, package it up, make it so that anyone else in the world could learn about it. Am I nervous about, real estate always being there? A little bit, yeah, because if, say for example, there wasn't real estate, which is always going to be real estate, if that goes away, I lose my income. Let me use a better example. Say I'm a bus driver, and I'm worried that someday bus drivers are going to be replaced by automatic things that drive themselves, which they probably will be eventually. Am I nervous about the world changing? Yes, but I feel like in the long run, it's better to share the information. I feel like it's better for all of us. If you don't worry, just trust that we're moving in the right direction. Take what I know and share it, and in the long run, we'll live in a better world instead of a scarcity world. I don't want to tell people how I make money. I don't want to tell people about my job. I'm a bus driver. It's a really good job. I don't want to tell other people about that. I feel like that's not the way to go. I feel like share, tell, it's better for the whole world. Finally, let me tell you about today, the story. One of the most difficult days, but fun days. I'm leaving Sunny Beach, going to Dimitriograd. Sunny Beach is point A, Dimitriograd, I think Dimitriograd is point B, that's a city B. Trying to get to city C, which is Istanbul, Turkey. And this was going to be the most complicated day. I got my bus tickets online. It wasn't the usual easy app that I use if it's in Russian, and it's a little complicated, and the website doesn't line up very correctly on my phone. I purchased my bus ticket. It works out. I get to the bus station at Sunny Beach, get on the bus, we're headed down the road. I find out that I purchased a ticket for tomorrow, not actually today, so I've left a day early from my hotel. Just roll with it. It's exciting. You get a little bit nervous, but it's exciting. Is my hotel in Istanbul purchased already for the next 3 days? Luckily that was correct, but I checked out too early, so I had overlapping my checkout time and my check-in time there in Istanbul and checkout time over there in Sunny Beach was overlapping. I got my days mixed up because I was dealing with train tickets that were in the middle of the night. Anyway, I'm leaving point A. I'm a little bit nervous now. I hope everything works out. I knew point B, the Dimitriograd, was going to be a little bit iffy because I was going to have to purchase a train ticket there. I didn't know if they were going to accept credit card or ATM or cash. Sure enough, they only take cash. But on my way into the city, I was already thinking ahead. I'm looking around at hotels just in case everything fails. You know, you don't have a car, you don't have a scooter or a bicycle, so as you're going into the town on the bus, you need to be quiet and be looking around because you need to be studying the city that you get into because you might be sleeping here tonight. I'm looking around at banks for ATMs. Okay, there's an ATM and there's a hotel over there and got those things set up. I get to city B. Yes, she can sell me a train ticket. Yes, I know where there's an ATM. Get my cash, get my train ticket. Come to find out, she's going to add another step. So it's not just going to be A, B, C. She said you have to take a train from B to C and switch trains, which is where I'm at right now, and then you get to Istanbul. So now I don't know when I get to D, which is here, if they sell tickets this late, because I'm not going to get here until 8 o'clock at night. I leave the first train station, I get here, they're still open, I purchase the tickets. Yes, they take cash, but thankfully I got enough cash at point B, the first train station. And thankfully at point A, I downloaded all these maps for offline usage. I had taken pictures. I'm pretty good to go. My train's it's 10 o'clock at night right now. It's 10:15, my train's gonna be here at 1:30 a.m. I'm still not even to Istanbul yet. Take the train, we're gonna do passport control on the train where they look at your passport and they stamp it. And then when I get to Istanbul, I have no cash for Turkey. I did that on purpose because I just didn't want to, who cares? Get to Turkey, I have to take a bus, a city bus, which is terrible because I have a lot of baggage. And then I have to take some sort of tram. I don't know what it's gonna look like. Hopefully it's big because I have my heavy bags. And then I have to walk to the hotel. So I'm probably halfway. It's going to be one of those 24-hour days. And I love it. These are the best days. The days when it gets difficult. I love it when I know it's going to be a long day. I'm going to get sweaty, hot, dirty. Not going to eat regular meals. I made this coffee here with just lukewarm water and the instant coffee, and I had some leftover milk from the crackers I was eating, put that in there, and this was the best coffee I've drank on the whole 60-day trip that I'm doing, because this was my reward for navigating, getting from Sunny Beach point A to the first train station to the second train station point B. This is the best coffee because you did it. And when I get to Istanbul and I finally get in the clean blankets and lay down, it's gonna feel better. And when I take a warm shower, it's gonna feel better. And I like that. If you don't have the lows, you don't have the highs. And that's why I like to get dirty on purpose, so that when I'm clean, the cleaner is more clean. I like to have the ups and downs. And when I get tired, I like to get really tired. Doing this constant up and down. Read the book Anti-Fragile. I'll talk about that book more later. That's a really good book, Anti-Fragile. You're making yourself stronger. You know, I've had a pretty easy trip up until now. Everything was just, I want to go from A to B, swipe, there's your tickets, go here to catch the bus, you'll get off there. Everything was fine. But to be honest with you, this difficult day was the most fun. It's gonna have the most memories. And enjoy the difficult days. And I would even encourage yourself to look out and seek out difficult days, because those are the most fun ones. What's the worst that's going to happen? It's 72 degrees. If somewhere along this line I didn't get a train ticket, I could just wait another 24 hours. I could just sleep in the train station. I could go find a hotel. It's fun. It's exciting. You have to solve problems. If it was raining, I could stay under the roof. If it was snowing, I could stay inside. And then, just to be even more crazy, let's make a video in the middle of all this and at 10:15 at night. So, in conclusion, I wanted to share with you my overall reason why I'm doing these videos. I'm just getting started. I still have a lot to share. I need to be more organized, I know that, and I need to make my videos more dense, but I need to be putting that out there, so now I'm accountable for it. And now the whole world knows that I'm not doing as good as I could be. I'm working on it. I'm getting there. I might even go back and redo videos and make them better quality. And just letting you know, today's journey was one of the most difficult journeys so far. It's not over yet, but it's going to be the most fun day, probably, because it's not easy, and I don't want everything to be easy. I already forgot the name of the city that I'm in, but from Svalingrad, good night from Bulgaria, my new favorite country, Bulgaria. Really cool country. I can't tell if they're speaking Russian or if they're speaking Bulgarian. Great country, my new favorite one. And I'll see you later from Turkey, probably, or maybe Georgia. Good night.